think I know what lens Casey Neistat uses for the majority of his vlogs. The perfect time to explore any city with pretty much nobody around is going to be Sunday morning, 7 o'clock-ish. When Sven and I first got married, it was during COVID, and we took a couple of days to stay at an Airbnb here in downtown Nashville, and there was literally nobody around. There was nobody. It was amazing. And Sunday morning is the closest to that I think I'll ever get to that again. Also, in today's vlog, I think I know what lens Casey Neistat uses. Let me explain. I don't know what this is, but this backdrop changes occasionally. A couple days ago, it was a beach setting. Back to what lens Casey Neistat uses. With lenses in particular, it's really hard to tell what kind of lens somebody's using, just mostly because there's a million options, and honestly, half the time it's just a guessing game, and I was having no luck figuring out what lens he uses until I saw this picture. From that, I think I figured out what lens it is. I don't know if this is an art piece or if somebody did this. This bike is completely painted. According to that picture, I think he uses this lens. That is the Sony G Master 12-24 f2.8. And let me explain to you why I think it's this lens and not like a 16-35, which is the most common lens ever. See, the 16-35 and the 12-24 can look really similar, especially when they both have the lens hoods on. But if you take the lens hood to the 16-35, flip it around, two lenses look pretty similar. But if you look at the lens hoods and you compare them to the picture, you can tell that the 12-24, this one right here, tapers down a little bit. And not to mention, it's a fixed lens hood, meaning the part where the lens ends and the lens hood begins is flush. Versus the 16-35, there's a little bump. That's why I think it's the 12-24 instead of the 16-35. I'm also home, by the way, but I mean, you knew that, right? One of my favorite things and one of the things I missed most about living in an apartment is having a balcony. Sometimes we just come out here and sit. They like it too. Get away from the rail. Little update on the whole unpacking thing. In short, it's going great. We have pretty much this closet unpacked. We have pretty much this whole bedroom unpacked, minus that box. This is we're getting rid of all that. All of this is unpacked. But then the office, well, let's just say the office needs some work. But for only being here for like less than like 3 days, I'm feeling good about it. I feel like the trick with unpacking, that's better. The trick with unpacking is being able to pace yourself and be consistent in that pace. If you try to do the whole thing in like 2 days, you're just gonna hate every second of it. And when you do that, that's just asking and leading to failure. When you do it over the course of a week or even like 2 weeks, it becomes much more manageable. And for somebody like me, I do much better with that. When I was researching this lens, I came across a lot of reviews that basically said that the lens was too wide. And an issue with wide lenses is sometimes on the edges they can be distorted, like basically straight lines on the very, very edge can seem like they're C's. And on top of that, a lot of people said that it being this wide, it would be hard to focus. But every time I watched one of those videos, I walked away with one question. Do you have to shoot at 12 all the time? Like sometimes I want to be, what am I at? Sometimes I want to be at 16 or even 24. It's just nice to have extra width. A lot of times in these vlogs, I'll crop in or I'll zoom in, and I like having the extra screen real estate to work with. But like everything in life, some things work great for some people and not so great for other people. If you're interested in checking this lens out, it'll be linked down below. I'll also have a Sigma version that's half the price because this lens is not cheap. Savannah has 2 mini sessions. As she was leaving the house, she asked if I wanted to go or if I wanted to unpack. But the mini sessions were like an hour apart, meaning that there would be an hour of doing absolutely nothing. I chose to unpack. Before I moved out of California, I never really cared about the fall, but since I've been out of California, fall has become my favorite season. Not for the leaves changing, not for Halloween, because that means that we're officially done with summer and the weather is going to cool off to a manageable, reasonable temperature. Also, I mean, look at this light. It's incredible. Savannah said that she was watching a TikTok, and the TikTok was about a guy that had just got out of like a 10-year stint in jail, and they asked if like anything had changed, anything stuck out to him, and he said the one thing blew his mind was a traffic circle. When he first came up on one, he didn't know how it worked, and he said people were just honking. It was a really funny TikTok. You know, there's something special about a Sunday evening at a park. There's an energy, it's hard to describe, but I've experienced it with pretty much every park that I've been to on a Sunday evening. I don't know what it is, but it's special. I wonder what's going on over there. Honestly, half the time, I just don't want to wait for the stop sign, so I jaywalk. Something they don't really enforce in Nashville very often.